blame me mummy. Bless her. She was having a problem, couldn't get hold of my sister. So, excuse me. So I had to ring my sister and sort stuff out. But let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. I am getting stuff sorted. If you can see me. I think you should be able to. There we go, that's that one gone. Let me get onto this one. Sorry guys, it has been one of those days. So give me a like if you are watching. I haven't even liked it myself. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Sound perfect, video's perfect. Thank you, Chris C, for letting me know. Let me move that up there. And that's gone stupid. Sorry, guys. Oh, God's sake. Sorry. One of them days. My hair's not even dry. When my mum rang me, she caught me getting ready. So I had to ring my sister because she couldn't get hold of my sister. What happened was my mum can't see properly. She's really almost blind. And technophobe, and she's 88. So she, yes, Chris C, I'm going to be talking about Mr. Robinson. I have got him on my list of things to discuss today. So yeah, she can't see. And so she has my number is in her phone as the number 1, so she can phone me, but she gets hold of my sister through Alexa. My sister set up Alexa to phone her, and her TV went off. She's with Sky and her Alexa went off. So obviously there's some sort of problem. So I rang her and said, she rang me and said, right, are the lights on? Yeah, okay, go and see if the kettle will boil, because I'm thinking, has the power gone out? And she's in a flat, she would know if it was, but you know, she was stressing and panicking and she wanted to get hold of my sister. So I then had to ring my sister to tell her to ring mum. And she was actually, my sister was just leaving then to go to see my mum, because I live far, far away from my mum. I live in Northeast Derbyshire. My mum lives in Liverpool. So and my sister lives around the corner. So yeah, obviously that was very important that I do that, which is why I'm a little bit late. Let's have a look at who's in the chat. Hi guys, sorry to waffle on there. Hi Chris, lovely to see you. You're my spanner. Thank you very much. Hi Pete, lovely to see you. Hi Elle, lovely to see you. Thank you so much for joining. Chris with the shiny new spanner. Let's see who else we've got. We've got Pete, as I said. Chrissy, yeah, about Tommy Robinson being in court today. I believe he's in court tomorrow as well. So Draka says, looking amazing. Oh, thank you, Draka. Hair's wet, but just had it done last week, Monday. Because they did it, I wanted it white, but obviously it's going to take a while with me having black for so long. So they... she's bleached it twice now, and then last time I had like a dark red put on it, this time a light red put on it. So next time we'll see what colour I get. Maybe we'll see. But I thought, well, with it being Halloween, you know, and this is a Disney dress. It's actually a Disney dress. If you have a look, it's got Mickey Mouse on it. And the ghosts and the bats actually are luminous, which is cool. So I am going to be talking about Tommy Robinson, and thank you, Draka, for the compliment. Post a link to the news story. Yes, that would be great. I'd love that. I actually haven't even had a chance to pull up all the stuff that I was going to pull up. So it's going to be a very unprofessional show tonight. I'm probably going to be going blah, 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 a lot. So do forgive me. Stephen, lovely to see you. And everybody else that we saw this morning. I was in briefly on Politics Social. I also got up late. Then I was with Regan Elite, and obviously I couldn't chat a lot there. But yes, Hedgehog Guard patrolling. Yes, here he is. His Spike. Hello, everybody. Sorry, it's just one of them days. So we've got One Angry Pagan as a mod as well. That's lovely. Thanks, guys. Holy month. Oh, yes, Pagan. Definitely. I have been putting up my decorations and preparing what I'm going to do for Samhain. I'm away at a camp that weekend, so I won't be able to post any videos because it's very, very bad. There's no Wi-Fi. There's very little mobile connection. It's in the middle of North Kelsey Moor, North Lincoln. So it's sort of one of those places where, you don't really get anything, as in technologically wise. There's no electricity there either. It's very rural. But yes, I got some leaves. I ordered some leaves with lights on. I've got another 2 lots as well to put up in the living room, and been putting up decorations and stuff. So getting there, but also planning what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about Samhain in a little bit if there is time. Thank you for popping that up, Chris. I don't know if I can see the Daily Mail anymore because I did used to subscribe. But I shall see if I can click on that. If not, I shall have a look for something else. Sorry. Nose running. Right. Sorry. Back to who's here. Hi, Kirsty. Lovely to see you. Let's have a look. I saw Diz, I think, in here. Let's have a look. Sorry, I'm sure I saw Diz. This when you click... I'm sure you guys know what it's like when you click on scroll and it just goes all the way down to the bottom of the page. So I just want to catch up on the comments. We're the mods, we're the law, and if you step out of line, you'll find a mod team armed with flair and a block button, so behave, darling, or we'll unleash a can of mod grade whoop-ass with a smile. I like that, Chris. Wonderful. Thank you. Love that. Power making you dizzy. Calm yourself. You don't have to be calm on here. Kirsty, lovely to see you, my darling. One Angry Pagan, are you having a good holy month? You hate bullies, good. So, yeah, brilliant. Hi, Sarah, lovely to see you, my darling. Let's see, anybody else in the chat that I have? Billy, hello, my love. Good to see you. Oh, it's lovely to see you all in the chat. Thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate it. So, yeah. Sorry again for yesterday. You all know I have a complex hiatus hernia, and my stomach went into spasm, and I would have been sitting here like this and rocking, and yeah. So I had to reschedule to today, but it's okay. I'm here now. So yes, I wanted to first of all talk about the PDF that was shanked on Saturday. Couldn't have happened to a nicer bloke, could it? Yeah, I never listened to the band Lost Prophets. It was not. I couldn't even tell you what they sing, and yeah, I came to the party late on that one. I was, I think, living in South Africa. It was sort of the transition time for me moving from South Africa back to the UK. So, but yeah, he was done for various PDFs and awful things that he did. And thanks, Chris, that I don't need to apologise. No, I feel I do because, I just don't like letting people down. And my stomach is just annoying. Absolutely. I wish that I could get the operation as soon as possible. But then again, it's like, if I do get the operation, I'm not going to be able to run for a while. So, but I also discovered that it was something that I ate that gave me that problem. So no more of that food. And, I was told by the surgeon that I must eat only like a fist size thing of food, which is what I do eat. And then I must chew. And I do have a problem swallowing. So again, it's because of my hernia, which sits at the top of my esophagus, which is right here, the duodenum. Well, it sits there, but it's up in my chest. So it does often feel like I'm having a heart attack, although I'm not. And often when I've had that pain before, you know, you ring 111 and they're like, right, we're sending an ambulance because they're like, you're having a heart attack. And I know I'm not, but, you know, they have to check it out. So because of my age, and obviously the last time I was overweight at the time. So, you know, but now I know that what it is. Kirsty, was it Kirsty who said that about my tablets? Maybe missing the meds also contributed to the pain. No, Kirsty, it didn't. It was the food that I ate. It was the actual food. That's the problem. It is a, you know, I could live on mashed potatoes and soup and like Complan, which I do actually drink a lot. But, you know, sometimes you want like something a bit more solid. I actually had half a baked potato because I had half a baked potato the day before, and one of those Matheson sausages, Matheson sausages. I had half of it, and it was the sausage. So, yeah. And Thorn, my cat, ate the potato skin. He just ripped it off because I can't even eat the potato skin either, which I love the crispy potato skin, but that is not good for my stomach. So he ripped it off my plate and basically swallowed that whole, but he didn't throw up, which is good. Yes, Chris C. 2 people appeared in court today charged with the unaliving of Ian Watkins. Apparently it was to do with he owed money for protection because he has been paying for protection while he is in the clink. And obviously PDFs are often, well, are generally targeted by most men in prison, or women if they're in a woman's prison, you know, the same thing goes. So he was paying protection and he owed money. So these 2 individuals did what they did, which his girlfriend actually said, his ex-girlfriend said that she was surprised it didn't happen sooner. You know, she expected it to happen a lot sooner. And I was actually reading about her, and I haven't even had a chance to pull up the articles that I was going to talk from, so I'm just remembering what I read here, so I might get some statistics or facts wrong, so I do apologize for that. But she said that she had actually reported him to the police many times, and the police had ignored her. And he was arrested through a warrant for drugs, illegal substances, and that's how they found all the stuff on his computer. And he had been grooming his girlfriend at the time so that he could abuse her 1-year-old. He was a vile individual, and I hope that he is down there burning and suffering and being up the bottom for his, with a burning stick with spikes on. And yeah, that's, I cannot stand people like that. I really can't. And I believe he was his case, he was sentenced to 29 years, so he would have got out at some stage. He was 40 something, 49, 50, somewhere around that. And there was actually another article that I read, I think it was in the Mirror, kept coming up today on my feed and in my email, that he had basically, somebody had seen him when his fans were visiting. He still had female fans visiting, underage female fans, and he had been seen kissing them. So whether or not that's true, it was the Mirror, it could be false, who knows. But yeah, so glad that it couldn't have happened to a nicer person, really couldn't. And I am being sarcastic. Hi, Oaky Grower, lovely to see you. I love that name. Hang on, I'm going back up the comments here. Just seen 2 magpies fly past your window. Does that mean orders are about to pick up? magpies, one for sorrow, two for joy. So could possibly be. One angry pagan, I thank ye. I'm having a good, okay. Halig Monup. Sorry if I've mispronounced that. Can't wait for winter Monup next month, first month of winter. Yeah, I know. I don't like winter. I don't like the dark days. It depresses me. I do take vitamin B, and I actually have a infrared lamp upstairs that I'm going to bring downstairs, because apparently it also helps cats with pain. And my one cat, Florence, she's only got 3 legs. She's missing one of her back legs, and I've noticed that she's getting a lot slower in her movement. So hopefully that'll help her as well. Chris, currently awaiting for a large polyp to be removed from the duodenum. Ooh, hopefully that'll happen soon, and hopefully it's nothing too serious. One angry pagan, need to go cook dinner for your youngest brother shortly. Still deciding on what to do. Well, hopefully it'll be yum. Wakefield doesn't have a separate VP wing. They are all mixed in together. Other prisons have separate VP wings. Yeah, they do. I didn't know that he was in Wakefield actually until I was on the phone with my mum yesterday, and we were talking about it, and I googled it, and I saw Wakefield because that's close to Doncaster where I used to live. So you, Pagan, you also thought it would happen sooner. Yeah, I did too. You know, he was injured previously, also for owing money for protection, but he survived that. So yeah, he this time he didn't. 2 guys, yeah, 2. One I think was about 25. The other one was in his 40s, I think. I know there was one younger one and one older one that actually did that. And you know what? Apparently they are getting kudos in prison and lots of commissary. And you know, I can't say that it's not deserved. Co-ed prisons would be fun. I don't know. I think that especially with rapists and other offenders, you know, that you all know, if you've watched my videos, how I feel about offenders and rapists, that they should be locked away for eternity. I don't believe in condoning the unaliving sentence. I really don't. I think they should suffer as much as they could, and perhaps have the same things done to them as what they did to their victims, with, you know, tools, things with lots of spikes on. The letter thorn. Yes, of course. Yes, the P, or the th sound. Yes. In monthful thing. Thank you, Pagan, for that. You've been waiting for over 18 months, Chris. That's awful. I've been waiting for 6 years, so I understand. Okay, we do celebrate Halloween, but we call it Samhain, and I'm going to talk about that in a little while. I need to watch the time because Thorn hasn't had his injection yet, and Reagan is going live at 6, so I want to obviously let you guys go, and obviously you need to support Reagan. Diz had to go on an emergency Tesco run, bless you. Have you tried Whoosh? I use Whoosh because I have an issue with going out, and apparently I'm going to be attacked at some stage if I'm found in Tesco by some woman that I had a bit of a hoo-ha with online last week, which I will be doing a video on. I was hoping to do it this weekend, but time. Right, let's have a look. Good to see you, Diz. So we've got 3 mods in, which is brilliant. Yeah. Also, just for those who are new to the channel, who may be watching and thinking, should I comment? Please comment politely. Don't troll. My 3 mods are mods on other channels as well. They are very seasoned in what they do, and we will not take any transphobia, any homophobia, any fascism. If you want to talk about right-wing politics, we can do, but please put it in a polite way, not a, oh, you lefties and snowflakes and, you know, whatever. I'm the wokest of the woke, so, you know, it doesn't offend me, but obviously we need to have some people protected that are in the chat that may be upset by what is said. So please, you know, be respectful, because we are all people. We all have emotions. We all have mental health. Every single person has mental health. I've been studying today as well. So, lots of spikes on. Yeah, lots of spikes on today. Oh, the 25-year-old is doing a life sentence for the unaliving of a 22-year-old law student in 2021. Interesting, interesting. Hi, Leah, lovely to see you. Just going through here. So behave, darling, or we'll unleash a can of mod-grade whoop-ass with a smile. Draka, woke, I'm an insomniac. I am too. And therefore, winter month means winter month. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, so I have talked about the evil PDF, and I'm going to come to Mr. Robinson now. I'm going to see if I can open that. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to type in. Hang on. There's so many things that come up when you type in his name. Right. I'm going to read from the scum, because it'll have the, I know it's the scum, but it'll have the dirty, you know, stuff. Terror trial. Tommy Robinson told cops not a chance, bruv, when they demanded he handed over his mobile pin at the Channel Tunnel. And I see there's a picture of him being very stern. He actually did put out a tweet, and I saw it on my Facecrack page. So let me go to Facecrack. Hang on a second. That's if it'll log in. Bear with me. I think it was on Truth. Oh, sorry guys. There we go. Truth Against Hate, which is a group that I follow. Oh, here we go. We've got a thing by them, which is going to be even better. Truth Against Hate, it's a group that I follow on Facecrack. Tommy Robinson arrived at Westminster Magistrates Court under heavy scrutiny, but some of the details of his arrest raised serious questions about his claims of living on the breadline. You know he doesn't live on the breadline. He's always abroad. I live on the breadline. I don't even have a passport. Can't afford a passport. The self-styled anti-establishment campaigner was stopped at Folkestone while driving a silver Bentley SUV, a luxury vehicle not even registered in his name, and carrying 13,000 quid in cash alongside 1,900 euros. For a man who often portrays himself as bankrupt and living hand-to-mouth, Robinson's apparent ability to travel in such style undercuts his image as a man of the people. The court heard that he refused to hand over his phone PIN, claiming it contained sensitive journalist material. Yeah. About vulnerable girls, prompting officers to accuse him of frustrating counter-terrorism powers. The trial is the latest episode in a string of legal battles that continue to highlight the gap between Robinson's public persona and the reality of his privileged lifestyle. So he put out a tweet, and this tweet, thank goodness I've remembered the name of this page. His tweet, which I don't see a date on here, but they've posted it from 7 hours ago, says, "Tomorrow the state is putting me on trial again, this time using terrorism legislation. And again, I will not be judged by a jury of my peers. I will be judged solely by a judge, and we know how this usually works." Now, there's two types of court. And he's in the one where the judge rules and not the one where he's seen by a jury. It's a different kind of law that is sort of brought down on these people, so they are charged in different ways. So as always, I expect to go to prison on these trumped up charges. If you can make it to my trial, which will take place at Westminster Magistrates Court Monday the 13th and Tuesday the 14th, I will wholeheartedly appreciate it. I will be running a live right here on X for viewers across the world. If they can do this to me, they can do this to you. Well, of course, you know, if you are a crim, of course they can do it to you. Sorry, there's another post here. So this is also from Truth Against Hate from 3 hours ago. If anyone still believes Robinson is a lone crusader taking on the British establishment, today's court case proves otherwise. His defence is being funded by Musk. Ezra Levant, loyal as ever, has flown all the way from Canada just to cover the proceedings, and immediately after this case, Robinson is off to Israel, all expenses paid by the Israeli government. Robinson's self-proclaimed Zionism is not about principle. It is a convenient cover while he is fully supported by powerful networks whose aim is to destabilise Britain and spread Islamophobia. His loyalties are not to the UK, but to foreign interests that benefit from division. Those who follow him and call him a patriot should stop and think. Every move he makes is harming the country you claim to love. He is doing the bidding of foreign powers and not defending British interests. Take a hard look at your version of patriotism if this is what you celebrate. It is not pride you are showing, it is complicity. It is not loyalty, it is betrayal. And I agree, it is betrayal. It's fake. It's to keep himself relevant. It's so that he can, you know, it's to cause the chaos. He's being paid by these really rich billionaires, you know? That's just, that want a world filled with fascism. Look at what Musk did before Trump was elected. He did the salute. You know, look at Trump and what he's doing with ICE and deporting people. And there was a video I saw earlier as well from the leader of UKIP stating that he will put all of those things in place here. And he will bring Christianity back to the UK and get rid of all other religions. So I did post it on my Facebook, and it is a video that I'm going to be recording hopefully tomorrow, that we pagans should be worried about this, you know, and obviously those who follow Judaism, Hinduism, you know, Buddhists, and of course Islam, because those are the people that they are going to target. You know, we've already had the burning times from the witches back in the 1600s. You know, we don't want to go back there. We really, really don't want to go back there. So, you know, and that was actually a scourge against women. It wasn't, it was called the witch trials because men who were studying at universities and so on, women weren't allowed to at that time, wanted to sort of, were afraid of the wise women of the village who were the midwives and the herbalists who were curing people already. So they wanted them gone. They were afraid of them. Sorry, just going to have another sip of water. So yeah, Robinson, absolute scum of the earth. What do you guys think of him? I'm sure you dislike him as much as I do. Going through some comments. Cat is important, but I think Reagan Elite is at 8. No, I did see 6 p.m. If somebody can just double check that for me, because if he is going to be at 8, then I will stay on a bit longer, because I did give him his injection at 7:15 this morning, so I've got an extra 15 minutes. Sorry, I am just, it's done the jump thing again. Oh, hi, Alistair M. Lovely to see you. Fantastic to see you in the chat. Sorry, I'm just scrolling back up because I've missed a whole load of stuff. Bear with me. Right, okay. I think I've got back to bear with me. Goodness, I've missed so many comments. Sorry, guys. Okay, I'm gonna start here. Chris C. more than likely had something to hide on his phone. Quite possibly he has CSAM on his phone. The most he will receive on conviction is 3 months and or 2,500 fine. It's a pity. It's a pity, you know. I often think that when crims who constantly commit crimes being given this small sentence and this small sentence and that small sentence, they should just be locked up forever. Because they're just going to repeat what they've done. They are just going to repeat it. Sorry, just scrolling. Single justice procedure, that's it. Thank you, Diz. I couldn't remember the name. Like I said, there was a whole load of stuff that I wanted to get up on the screen, but I had to sort out my mum, so that was important because she kept ringing and I thought she's going to ring while I'm busy, and then if she can't get hold of me, because I record on my phone, so if she can't get hold of me, she'll even panic even more. My nationalism, as it were, is based on my love of this land, not its people. Yeah, well, I do, some people. But yeah, it is the love of the land. And that is what witchcraft and paganism is really all about, is the love of the land. And basically putting back what we take and taking no more than we need to. And unfortunately, we live in this world, this capitalist society where people, you know, just drain the earth of everything, which is awful. People like Tommy can't even settle on a name, never mind a religion or a single cause. Total slimeball. Absolutely, Kirsty, he is a slimeball. I really, you know, he's just, yeah. Leah, I'm sick of people talking about this being a Christian country. If they're real traditionalists, they'll make us pagan again. I agree with you, Leah. And I'm sure that One Angry Pagan will also agree with you. But they think it's hilarious. They think paganism is hilarious. They really do. I have had many discussions with people about paganism and, of course, neo-paganism, because obviously, you know, we live in a modern world. So paganism itself has changed within where we are at the moment. We no longer really practice sympathetic magic. Sympathetic magic is something that would be practiced, and American Indians actually used to do this, and you'll recognize this that I'm going to tell you now about sympathetic magic from films that you've seen with Native American Indians in. They would have a celebration at night. They were going out to, you know, find some food, to unalive an animal, a bison or a bear or whatever it is they were going to eat, a deer, and they would move around the fire, basically, you know, imagining themselves unaliving this animal so that they would have food to eat. And this builds up energy and it puts an intention out into the universe that this is what we're going to do. It brings positive energy into that person so that they can go and do what they need to do to, you know, obtain their food. That's sympathetic magic. So it is that creation of magic. And that's when we practice magic today and we cast spells, we use certain things to as points of intention. Candles, incense. Perhaps if you're doing a love spell, you would take a piece of rose quartz. I have this next to me because of computer stuff. I'm always breaking computers. So you would have a piece of rose quartz, for example, and you would, you know, focus your intention of love into that crystal. That's just an example. It's a simplification of what we would actually do. But a spell is something that when you think of it, you actually start to do it. It actually starts to manifest. And we can look at prosperity, for example. Casting a prosperity spell. You want prosperity in your life. Just asking for prosperity or abundance could be that you get an abundance of flies in your house, or an abundance of mice, or an abundance of bad luck. You have to be quite specific. So I always use a few silver coins, you know, to sort of focus. This is what I want. This is what I need. This is the thing that I need abundance of. And then you have to do something to draw that abundance to you. So it's no good just casting the spell and expecting it to work without actually doing something towards receiving that. Chrissy, the court could impose a criminal behavioural CBO with conditions on his internet and social media usage. If he fails to hand over his devices when requested by the police, he will breach the order. Yep, that's good. I mean, I'm sure he's had somebody, you know, try to delete stuff off of his phone, but, you know, hopefully they have, you know, some sort of technology that they can get that information off. So it is 8 p.m. Okay, great. So I've got a bit longer to check. I saw an 8. I just don't want to. A notification will come up on my phone if he does go live at 6. So I don't want to encroach on other people's stuff, because, you know, we are all trying to earn a living. We are all trying to work together as a group of people to bring truth, to bring that change that we need. And we all come at it from our own different angles. I mean, you know that I focus on, okay, there's the witchcraft side of things, but there's also the feminist side of things that I focus on, the getting rid of misogyny and the patriarchy, which I find is, for me, more important than anything else. And obviously that ties in with left-wing politics. So I can't help that my political side is left-wing. Not that I'd want to be right-wing anyway. That just, yeah. Sorry, guys. Let me just have a look. Carry on here. Waxy Lemon, as our good friend Graham from Power to the People says, is a cowardly bully who has to stay in isolation for his own protection every time he goes to prison, and then moans about it as well, makes out that it's so hard for him. Oh, yeah, Alistair, I know exactly what you mean about not being able to put it into the chat. That's how I feel about, well, him and several other people. One angry pagan, we heathens have a hard enough time just being recognised, let alone more persecution. Don't forget the Christian purges of the Germanic paganism from around 850 AD till the 14th century in Scandinavia. Yes, of course. You know, it's been, well, we can look at the, you know, colonisation of the world by Britain and other European countries, and the Crusades, when, you know, British went into the Middle East and tried to convert everybody to Christianity. Yeah, it's just, yeah, freedom of speech. You know, Frogage and et al., they talk about freedom of speech, but they don't like it when we speak freely. And so they're not for freedom of speech. They're for freedom of their speech, not everybody's speech. Oh, thanks, Diz. It's one of those things that I looked at my watch, I'm like, I've got 15 minutes. So it's a new, I saw a woman putting on some makeup, a goth woman putting on some makeup. She was using purple. And so I thought, okay, I'll try that out. And I didn't have time to do the whole thing properly. So I just did what I did. But thank you very, very much. Oh, it's tomorrow that he's live at 6 p.m. Okay. Okay. That's why I'm thinking 6 p.m. Okay. To be fair, I'm surprised that he's not pled guilty. He normally pleads guilty and keeps the money donated for his legal fees. Yeah, he does. I know. Hi, Mithril. Lovely to see you. Sorry, I'm only getting to you now to say hello. Lovely to see you. We are treated as a joke. We are. And people do not understand or, what paganism is and what it's all about. I am going to be doing some videos on witchcraft and paganism in the near future. I'm a week or so behind on my studies at the moment, so it's in my list of to-dos. I got a very long list of to-dos, but yeah, it is annoying when people think that we are just hippies, and well, we are, but it's more than that. And I do think that all the pagans I know, which are many around the world, have more faith than most Christians. We practice our faith on a daily basis. We light our candles. We all have altars in our home. Some of us more than one. I have several. I can't even think how many I've got, but quite a few. I've got one next to me here, which is my working altar where I make my potions and my herbs and stuff. And then I've got my main one in my dining room, which is sort of where I do the sort of honouring. I got one in my living room, which I use to remember those that have passed. It's got my pictures of all of the people and the animals that have passed. I have one in my bedroom to help me sleep. I have one in my meditation yoga room for meditation and yoga. So, everything becomes an altar. And I have one outside as well. So, it is... and when I go out, I have special places in the woods and in the forest where I treat as altars, where I treat as magical places. And I do feel that pagans are far more reverent than Christians, than most Christians. Just my opinion. Let me know what you think. This is why even casting runes can be a dangerous endeavour. I don't know. It can be, but it's done that jumpy thing again. Bloody hell. It can be dangerous, but I think if you use your protection, and put that around you when you are casting runes. I use crystals, which are similar to runes. I do like the runes, though. I also use the Ogham, the Celtic Ogham, which are similar to runes. It's the alphabet in sort of lines with crosses over it. Each one represents a different tree. Each tree has a different meaning. For example, the apple tree is all about love and romance. Just to give you an example of, one of the Oghams and what it means. And it's similar to casting runes and crystals as well. You take a handful and cast them, or you can cast them and put them onto a board or a cloth. Sorry, guys. Whatever works for you. I have got crystals all over my home in different places, but I've got a bag of crystals which I use for divination. There's probably about 150 to 200 crystals in there. It's quite a heavy bag. And every day I pull one of those to see what energy I need to work with. So today was bloodstone, which is the witch's stone. It's like a dark green with red flecks in it. And that is to do with, for me today, to do with focusing more, which I definitely need to do more of. So I'm sorry if I've missed any comments here. Chris C, digital forensics can now recover most stuff. However, iPhones are notoriously hard to hack info if they are PIN protected. Leah, I'm politically homeless. Choosing between left and right wing as a woman is a choice between being public property or private property. Leah, you're in NZ, aren't you? You're in New Zealand. So I'm not 100% familiar, with the politics in New Zealand and what the sort of parties are that you have. But I'm green. I left the Labour Party. They were not working for me anymore. They were not I just felt that I was being ignored. My MP was not getting back to me, so sorry guys, I joined the Greens, and they are up and coming. And yes, there's the whole story with Zach Polanski and the boob job thing, and he actually did a really good job of explaining it on, I can't remember what I watched it on recently. It was the scum that asked him, he was a hypnotherapist, and they asked him if he would hypnotize a person to so that they could enhance their breasts. And he said, no, that's not what he does. And they said, well, we won't, publish it. We just want to see if it'll, work. So he said, okay. But they went and published it anyway. But apparently the lady's chest size did increase by 2 inches. So, but yeah, it was the scum. So it's all a load of BS. Yeah. And to be fair, when you put that against the crap that Froggage does, and has done, really, there is no comparison, is there? Let's have a look. One Angry Pagan. I have to admit, I do have major philosophical and ideological issues with monotheism. Yes, I do too. I absolutely agree with you. One Angry Pagan. We should have a, when I get myself organised, we should do a live stream together, I think, talking about paganism, because you come at it from a very different side of things to me, and there's a lot of your, the Nordic stuff. I mean, I do have friends who practice the Nordic pantheon, but it would be interesting to have a discussion about it at some stage in the future. Froggage wouldn't know what freedom of speech is if it slapped him across the face. Absolutely, Chris C. Completely agree. Leah, at least you're not homeless alone. Nice one. I like that, Lana. Mithril, freedom for me, not thee, is Froggage's belief. Absolutely. Freedom of speech doesn't take away consequences of speech. Absolutely does. And that was the... What was her name? Not Laura. Can't remember her name now. I mean, she pled guilty, didn't she? She pleaded guilty, and then was, they tried to say, oh, she was a political prisoner of Starmer's, and she wasn't. She if you plead guilty, you're going to go to jail. Alistair M, to have freedom of speech as long as it is their type of truth, which Goth, absolutely, absolutely. It's done the jump thing again. Bloody hell. Lana going green in New Zealand as well. Yes, runes can be dangerous because Odin is a capricious betard. Yes. When I've got a friend who is a rune master. She lives in New Zealand now, actually. I met her in South Africa, and we used to do a lot of magic together. And the first time I experienced Odin in circle, oh my word, I actually had to sit down. The energy was so powerful. I felt nauseous. Just this of energy came into me. So yeah, working with his energy can be incredibly incredibly strong. And I think that, people don't always understand or believe what energy is, but we all have energy. We are beings of energy. Every single one of us is a being of energy. We are a bunch of molecules that are stuck together with energy. Sorry, guys. He took down the Reform participant on Question Time very well. He did. What was his name? Zia Yusuf. Yeah, he did. I enjoyed watching that. I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched clips of it. But yeah, it is so important that we start to take down these guys and start to point fingers at them. And there was a comment, I'd put a comment on some thread. I can't remember whose it was. It was a political channel. It could have been Anthony Jones, I'm not sure. And I said, you know, that oh yeah, it was Anthony Jones, because he did a video on Owen Jones. And I'm not a fan of Owen Jones. Him and I had a bit of a hoo-ha in comment section on one of his videos at one time. I disagreed with him about something to do with Labour. And I put a comment there about, you know, calling out the right-wing fascism, and somebody commented, but by calling them out all the time, you are drawing attention to them. But we need to, because we are just bombarded with it all the time online. Just people's comments that I see, and, you know, news articles. There was one today that I saw, can't remember which newspaper it was, where a local council is taking down flags because we're coming up to Poppy Month, and then we've got Xmas, and, you know, the lights go up and you have to apply for permission to put these flags up. I don't care that they're up. I really don't have an issue with them at all. What I have an issue with is the weaponization of those flags that the right wing are facilitating. They are basically saying, oh, you know, this is our flag. We are taking back our flag. No, it's not their flag. It's everybody's flag. And if you don't bow down to the flag, you're a loony lefty, or you're a wokey, or you're whatever they want to call you on that specific day. So yeah, it is, we have to call it out. We have to. You know, the old poem, can't remember who wrote it, but, you know, first they came for the travellers, then they came for the Jews, then they came for this person and that person, and then there was me and there was nobody to help me. Yeah, nobody to speak for me. And it's going to happen. It is going to happen. We need to be really, really, really aware of what the right are doing, and we need to stand up to it every chance we can. I know not everybody can do that. I know not everybody is able to do that. I'm quite happy to have people shout at me in my chats and in my comments, and I'm quite happy to, you know, shout back at them. It's water off a duck's back for me. I was threatened actually last week with being unalived and being punched in the face. I think I did mention it on another live that I did when I'd just been running, and you know, that's been reported and handed over to the authorities, but my profile on Facebook is private, so people can't see it, and my posts are private as well. But I, you know, I will argue back, and then they start, you know, insulting you, and you just know you've won the argument because they've got nothing else to say. Somebody said to me the other day, have you read Reform's manifesto? And I answered back, have you? That's why most people in Scotland felt too about Labour leaving them. SNP Greens got more votes. Yep. I got pushed by someone invisible to me in my flat once. I left the ground. Apparently my flat is haunted. Come to think of it, Mithril, you were invisible. Care to explain? Yeah, it's the cloak of invisibility. Liam, my brother votes Green, and he has been trying to convince me to vote Green. If I do vote, it'll probably be them. I don't like any of them, but women died for us to vote, so I won't take it lightly. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. But I will vote in my area tactically to keep out Reform. I'd rather have the Tories than Reform. You know, that is my thinking. I will vote tactically. I am in a, our council is Labour run, but yeah, I do not want Reform to get in. That would just be horrendous. One angry pagan, politically homeless too, waiting for Zach Polanski and the Green Party to prove themselves more electorally successful before I put my faith in him and them. Yeah, that's fair enough. You know, we all have to make our own decisions as to who we support, because a lot of people are supporting Corbyn's party, your party, and, you know, that's their choice. Personally, Corbyn lost. You know, Polanski's come out and he's this person who is able to speak. He's able to really elucidate himself with what he says and, you know, combat against those on the right. He is very knowledgeable. He's got that spark for me. I changed to the Green Party so that I could vote for Polanski. So I left Labour, joined the Greens, because you can get a discounted rate where you only, I think it's about £6 or £7 a year if you join the party. So that's not too bad. So yeah, Elle, you got pushed by someone invisible. Wow, that's interesting. Do a cleansing on your flat. I would recommend sage, going around with sage, wafting that around. A bit of salt water, so placing some sea salt or some pink Himalayan salt if you can into some water, let that dissolve, and then just splash it around. You can, while you're doing that, say something. It doesn't have to be anything special. It can be something like, remove all the negative energy from this room, from this flat. You know, I would say something like, Ancient Goddess, protect me, Morrigan, removing all this negative energy from my home, sending it back to whence it came. In your name, Mother Goddess, Father God, so mote it be. But, you know, you don't have to say anything specific. That's what's nice about paganism. A lot of people get stuck in the, oh, a ritual has to be done this way, and you have to say this and that and the next thing. All of my rituals are off the cuff. Completely. That's it. I plan the order of things, but when I'm speaking with the goddess coming through me. I'm not speaking my own words, so to speak. It's the same as after a ritual, I will go around the circle afterwards and give everybody a message that the goddess is speaking through me. Janet Farrar actually does that, and a lot of witches in circle, male or female, will do the same thing. It is, especially when we do drawing down the moon, which is done at full moon, when we draw down the moon's energy into us, and we call all the goddesses that, you know, that we want into us, and we speak as the goddess. Oh, my autumnal garland looks like a massive headdress of antlers. That's cool. In fact, I bought this a few months ago to go with, it was a warrior weekend that I was supposed to go to. So I was going to be a stag, and, you know, it never got worn. So it'll get worn at some event, but it's so pretty. The company is called, I can see lots of love hearts there. Thank you, guys. What is the company called? I can't remember. Moss Story. Moss Story. They make all these wonderful, wonderful headdresses. I have got more different ones, but this one was within reach. So yeah, I just love it. It's so pretty, isn't it? It's got like all this sort of gold and pink roses, and it's gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. My alarm's going off. I forgot to switch it off. Sorry, guys. Just hang on a second.
Hello.
It's currently 1800 hours. Let's have a look. Come back to, yes. So I'm so glad it looks like I've got antlers. Witchy Goth and Pagan doing a live. Excellent. I would watch that one. Great, Alistair. We will look at putting something together. It'll be later on in the year. I've just got so much going on at the moment with studying and stuff, and I've got recordings to do. But yeah, I think that would be a good one to do. I really do think that would be a good one to do. I don't know how to use whatever, so it'll be, you know, one of those that it'll be like a hiccupy one. So because I'm not tech savvy. Oh, I see I've only got 4 likes, guys. If you're watching, could you give us a like? That would really help with the algorithm. And if you can, share this with your mates on your channels or on your other socials. That would be great as well. I've lost it. It keeps doing this thing, so I'm sorry if I Lana, you don't mind Owen Jones incensed about Palestine. I find him therapeutic, him and Colonel Demo. Yeah, I've started watching Colonel Demo as well. He's pretty interesting. I don't know, Owen. Yeah, I was just having I used to like him. I did used to like him, but then I sort of, yeah. Chris C, tell the flag shaggers George wasn't English. I know, but you know, if they don't know it, they don't know it. Last week it was really funny because one of the guys that was sort of bullying me online or trolling me online had a Huguenot French surname. So I said to him, do you realise you have a French surname? He then went away, just like realised that, oh, yeah, maybe I have a French surname. Mithril, I frequently argue with our friend Reagan Elite. He can be a little centrist for my taste. You know, we have to have those discussions, though. We do, because I think Graham was saying this, I don't know if it was today or some other day, but you know, we want the left to be perfect, don't we? We all want to have this perfect left wing, how we see it. But, you know, life isn't perfect. Is it ever going to be perfect? Are things ever going to be the way that we want them to be? You know, baby steps. But we do need to shift that Overton window because it's so far right at the moment that it's nearly falling off a cliff. Sorry, just Lib Dems are my only viable choice here in Torbay, South Devon. Yeah, you know, if that's, I don't mind Ed Davey, to be honest. He seems like a decent bloke. He does. He does seem like a decent bloke. Oh yeah, and that was another thing, wasn't it? That he was being stalked by somebody with a kniffy. Yeah, just why? He has a disabled son, doesn't he? And I really admire him for what he does with disabilities. Chris C, your council is currently Labour. However, we have a Muslim mayor that the Gammons are not happy with, so I fear reform will gain control next year. Yeah. Yeah. The only ghosts I have are my previous dogs, and they are always welcome. Oh, yeah, I know. I don't mind that as well. I often feel them rubbing against me, and I look and there's no actual physical cat there, and I'm like, oh, that's Bracken or that's Tuxedo. You know, we do. I have no issue with, to be honest, there aren't any ghosts in this house. This is quite, I'm sad because I don't mind chatting with ghosts. So many topics here that I want to talk about in the future. Oh, that's one question I wanted to ask you. What is your favourite scary movie? Pop it into the comments. Let's have a chat about some scary movies. Yes, white sage, not common or garden sage, is important as the ritual based on Native American. Absolutely. Although I do use other lavender as well, and if it's homegrown, I find that if you've grown it yourself and you've put your energy into it when you've been nurturing it, it's also very potent. I've lost something here. Somebody was talking about Samhain. Beware the Piskies, peoples. Yes, I was in the woods the other day, in the forest, and there was a massive fairy ring of fly agarics. It was huge. I tried to take photos of it, but couldn't really see it properly when looked back at the photos. But yeah, maybe one day I'll go sit in the middle of it. Alistair says, Elle, just talk to it, say you respect the home you're living in. I do that when I'm moving to a new property. Actually, what I do is when I'm leaving a property, I take my energy with me. I take it all with me. I don't leave it behind because I don't want somebody else to steal that energy. And then when I move into a new place, I bring that positive energy with me, send back any negative, and obviously cleanse and bless and do what I need to do. I'm somebody said something about Samhain. I think possibly wanting to do a live on Samhain. I'm away. I'm camping in the middle of nowhere with my the group that I practice with, so I will be doing all sorts of things. I've got an amazing raven mask that's coming. I'm waiting for it to be delivered, so I shall show you what that looks like after Samhain. It's a surprise for everybody. So click like. It's cheaper than therapy and twice as validating. It certainly is. Dawn has a French surname. Hi Jessica, lovely to see you. Thank you for joining. I did see you yesterday on, I think it was yesterday, wasn't it, on Gadgets stream. Yes, I've not been able to cover the Tates much lately. I've been so busy with other stuff. Right. None, you can't watch them. They give you nightmares for days. One Dark Night, 1982. Hi, Tex Meats. Lovely to see you. One Dark Night, 1982. I've not seen that. Who's in that one? Not seen that one. I might have done. I might have seen it, but not remember. I watch horror movies all the time. The Innocents, black and white, 1963, with Deborah Kerr, based on the Henry James, The Turn of the Screw. Absolutely terrifying. Ooh, I shall watch that. Diz can't watch scary films. Jessica, the Others, good film. Absolutely brilliant film. Love that. I like Nicole Kidman. She's a good actress. Alien, absolutely Elle. Love the whole of the Aliens franchise. Short film, The Chair, is pretty mad. I've not seen that. 18 likes now. Thank you, guys. That's really great. I think it's probably the most likes I've ever had. Thank you. Your elder sister's called Raven. Fabulous. Oh, the Raven is my bird. When I say my bird, I mean my... she's Morrigan's bird, and I know that also Odin has his too, doesn't he? Huggin and Munnin. I think that's the correct. The Witch is a decent Halloween film. It is. It is. Tex Meets Adam West. Wasn't he Batman? He was the original Batman, wasn't he? Wakewood. That sounds familiar. Jaws. Jaws is terrifying. I remember when I watched that first time as a kid, and you know, right at the beginning when the eye comes out, sorry, trigger warning, the eyeball comes out of the bottom of the boat. I remember me and my sister jumping back. Terrifying. The Box is weird. Death Machine. Okay, not laughing, Jessica. Yep, 1966 Batman. Yep. Fun fact, the shark was called Brewster in reference to Spielberg's accountant. Ah, nice one. Didn't know that, Chris C. Thank you. Mine, my favorite is the original Halloween. The original John Carpenter one. I just love that movie. I love Jamie Lee Curtis. It is my absolute favorite horror. I love the theme tune, which was written by John Carpenter. I also enjoy the Scream. There's 5 or 6 of them now, so I enjoy Scream. Hi Trip, lovely to see you. Thanks for joining. I enjoy the Scream movies. All of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. Absolutely love Robert Englund. I think he's brilliant. Chris C, the original Exorcist, but that's because you love Tubular Bells. Yes, they do use that in the theme tune, don't they? The raptors from Jurassic Park 1 are always and will be terrifying. It's interesting, isn't it, what scares us? I remember going to the cinema to see Arachnophobia, and I sat the entire way through the movie with my feet up on the chair because I was convinced that they'd let spiders go in the cinema, and I was rubbing my legs trying to get rid of them. So many good films being mentioned here. Is your favourite alien in a film is the balloon alien in Dark Star. Don't know which one that is. But I do like a lot of, hi, blah, blah, lovely to see you. Thank you for joining, guys. Really, really wonderful. And if you haven't, please click the like button. Jackie, you made and set if made and set in Hong Kong, the movie Jaws would have rapidly become about fishing and cooking. Brilliant. Love that. There's a really creepy one about an Uber driver, but the name eludes me. Yes, he is a serial unaliver, I think, and takes them to a specific place. I've seen that one. I do watch a lot on Shudder. I do have a Shudder account with Prime because I love my horrors. I also have, what else? Oh, so many horror movies that I absolutely love. I just can't think of them. I've gone completely blank. But yeah, for me, Halloween month is the horror month. But I started off years ago, decided, right, October, I'm going to watch a horror movie every night. It's now gotten to the state where I actually watch a horror movie pretty much every day when I'm not watching something else. One Angry Pagan, the animal that you are most afraid of is the cassowary. Yes, they are pretty evil animals, aren't they? They're quite aggressive. Rideshare and Spree, okay. Got to be Nightmare on Elm Street. Absolutely, I love the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I do. I think that you know the scene where the tongue comes out of the phone. That freaked me out originally. But my nightmares, my dreams are all nightmares. I don't really have dreams. They're generally nightmares. The Thing, another good one with Kurt Russell. Absolutely brilliant movie. I know there's another one as well. There's a later one, isn't there? The movie that did it for me was The Exorcist. There was ministers, Samaritans, medical staff outside when the movie finished, and they were busy, folks in hysterics and tears. Horrible. Wow. Wow. That's interesting. What's the actress's name? Blair Witch, Pretty Wild. Trip, my favourite genre in horror movies are found footage. I love found footage films when, you know, going into insane asylums and everybody disappearing and then people just finding the cameras, or going hiking in the woods and people finding the cameras and stuff. That, to me, I love it because you never know what's going to happen. And I just enjoy that kind of film. I also love the Paranormal Activity films. I think they're really good. Also, just recently watched the Insidious films. I do like them. I know there's a whole load of sort of hoo-ha about Ed and Lorraine Warren. Were they real? Were they just in it for money? There's a channel that I watch called The Tape Library. If you have a look at that. The guy is British, and he actually recently did, I think it's about an hour and a half or 2 hour video on Ed and Lorraine Warren and the stuff that they did in real life. So the VHS movies are great. Yeah, I've watched them. There is a new one actually on Prime, which is on my list. I add them all to a list. I've got a list of stuff that I never get through all of them. Linda Blair, that's it, Mithril. Thank you very much. Linda Blair was her name. Chris C, we're living in a horror movie at the moment. We certainly are. Although our horror movie is probably not as bad as the one that's happening in Palestine. So let us just take a minute to think about those poor people that are going back to their homes that no longer exist, to start all over again. And let us hope that no more bombing and fighting takes place. So, yeah, I think that that is something that we need to be aware of. So many comments here, guys. I'm trying to get through some of them. Ancient Aliens, yeah, that was a good one. The Curse of Skinwalker Ranch, yep, seen that as well. Ancient Aliens, wasn't that around the books that were written by, what's his name? I've read them as well. I don't have the copies of them anymore. Oh, what was his name? Fingerprints of the Gods was the name of the book. The first one. Can't remember the author's name now. What Holmes said has been flattened. Yeah, exactly, Chris. It's been flattened. Nothing left for them. I just, at least I have a list. I do. It's a long list. It's a huge list of films. And I end up watching some again. I do Von Daniken. What's that? I've not seen that one. I do end up watching some twice as well. If they're good, I will watch them again. The Insidious films, like I say, I've watched them. I watched The Grudge 3 last night, actually, when my stomach had sorted itself out. Because you can get, there's a movie channel now on YouTube that has them for free. So have a look at them. The Grudge 3 was on there. It's one that I'd not seen. So I watched that on my phone last night when I was in bed. Excuse me, guys. So yeah, it's worth having a look. There was one that I saw the other night called Mary, which was about a boat called Mary with Gary Oldman in. I'm not going to give anything away because it is a really good film. I suggest you watch it. Not a movie, but look up The Sauchi Poltergeist. Yes, happened a few doors away from you. Made the TV news. There's another guy that I watch called Peter Laws. He's British. He is an author. He actually did a whole video on the Sauchi Poltergeist as well. Very, very good. Yeah. Yeah, very, very good. That's another one that I know. I do feed. I'm a sponge. I am a sponge. I just love the, love all that stuff. Love as much information as possible. Ah, he's the modern day Graham Hancock. Okay. Hi, Daily Blase. Lovely to see you. I think everybody in the chat is doing really, really well. Oh yeah, Tape Library are really good. Even if you're not a believer in the paranormal. I just love his stuff. He's got a great voice. And there's also Mystery Archives as well, an American one. In fact, Peter Laws, Mystery Archives and Tape Library have done a collaboration in a few videos. So it's well worth watching those or listening to those. Or they do put up, they do make sort of video stills and that sort of thing. So definitely worth watching. Sorry, just have another sip of water. But horror movies are my thing, and daft ones as well. I'll also watch silly ones. What's that? Autistic moment. Okay. Trip, you always wanted to sleep inside a kangaroo pouch when I was a kid. It's still on my bucket list. Okay, that's a weird one. Yes, sarcasm is not best conveyed via text and writing. There were a couple of other things that I wanted to talk about as well. Hang on a second. I might have already talked about them. No, I've actually talked about everything except the COVID jabs that we now have to pay for. I don't know if anybody knows that. The Troll Hunter, that's a good film. Yep, seen that as well. Did You Funk Out to Power Slave? Good album. Very good album. Kevin Hart lately, just to get you in a good mood. Brilliant. Yeah, I discovered a lady called Aurora recently. It just came up on my YouTube, thing where it suggests things for you. And the song that came up was one called Churchyard. She's Norwegian. She is beautiful. She's blonde, like white blonde and pale, and she's like a fairy, and she was a dancer and she's a singer. Sorry guys. And she has this voice that is So amazing. I'm a massive Kate Bush fan, but this woman's voice is just so clear and so spot on. And it's not auto-tuned. You can tell it's not auto-tuned. Leah, you adore Aurora. Yeah, I'm so sad that I've only discovered her now because she was touring earlier this year. And if I had known, I would have gone to see her. She's just amazing. Her voice is just amazing. Bet COVID isn't expensive as the Manjaro I used to take. They're charging 100 quid if you want it without having a serious health problem. I do think that because I got a cancellation sent through to my phone, and I think they cancelled because they said somebody else that because they've not had a flare up in a long time that they're not getting the jab. And I think to myself, yeah, I've not had a flare up because I look after myself. I stay away from people with snotty noses. When I touch things that other people have touched, I wash my hands and use antiseptic stuff because I run. And if I get a cold, it's going to take me 2 weeks to get over it, and I'm not going to be able to run for 2 weeks, and I'd go insane. Leah, also a huge Kate Bush fan. Good taste, Witchy. Oh, while I'm on here, before I go, because I'm going to have to go in a minute, Tape Library Paranormal on YouTube channel. Yeah, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Kate Bush, you can pre-order. It's being released on the 26th of October. It's a green vinyl copy of the other sides, which is the B-side singles, and it was previously released, but this has got extra tracks on and it's been sort of thingied a bit more. That original one, you can't find it. And I did find it online, and it was 150 quid. And I thought, I'm not spending that much. I really want it because I've got a box set of Kate Bush on CD and I've got all of her vinyls as well. So I've ordered this one on vinyl. It's like a mint green vinyl. It's like swirly, like marble. So I thought, oh, I've got to have that. Then Susie and the Banshees, she's re-released the Halloween album that she released a couple of years ago. I can't remember what it's called now. The name has gone, but it's got Halloween on. And she's released that on as a special offer. So I'm getting the CD, a t-shirt and the pin badge. I know, I'm a massive Susie fan, got all her stuff as well. And then Adam Ant, because he started his tour, he is releasing a best of album on vinyl and CD, I think, as well. But I've ordered it on vinyl. It's a double album. One is red, one is black. One is red, one is white vinyl. So I'm looking forward to getting that. That's also 31st of October. So the Susie and the Banshees one. Let me just check what the name of the album is. Just hang on a second. Not the Susie album, not Manta Ray. It's not coming up. It's not coming up. All Souls. That's what it's called. All Souls. Limited edition CD. As soon as I got the notification, I just went and pre-ordered. CD release, limited edition. So yeah, if you are into Susie, if you are into Kate, or if you are into Adam Ant, go and have a look at those and pre-order, because I don't know how long they're going to be available for. Where am I? Back to who's going. Bye-bye, guys, whoever's leaving. Thank you so much for joining. Really, really enjoyed today. Alistair, excellent live. Really enjoyed it. Need to head as you need to get stuff done before Regan Elite. Absolutely, completely understand. Thank you for joining, Alistair. It's been really great you being here. One of my musical heroes, Kirsty MacColl, had a box set released a couple of years ago. Sadly, couldn't afford it. Oh, Mithril. That's amazing voice. Amazing voice. Tony Blair was among the delegates who lined up to shake Trump's hand. Yes, blah, blah. Please hit the like button if you can. That would be lovely. Yeah, it's been a great turnout tonight. I don't even know how many are watching, to be honest. I can't. Oh, 20. That's brilliant. I can see 20 now because because I'm doing this on my phone. Why does your mum have to ring you? My mum rang me as I was getting ready, and it was the same thing. It's like, but I had to help her. So, right, The Cure. I was never a massive fan of The Cure, to be honest. They never really sort of engaged me. I used to dance to them, but I sort of, you know, they never really did it for me. Susie, the one band that I do love though, that Robert Smith was in with Steve Severin from Susie, because Robert Smith used to play with Susie as well. He played with Susie for a few couple of years. Is the band called The Glove. If you haven't heard it, the album's called Blue Sunshine. Absolutely brilliant album. Brilliant album. A friend of mine got a copy on blue vinyl years ago, and I've just got a normal vinyl copy. So many bands that I love from that era, but this Aurora chick, absolutely amazing. Some of her stuff's a bit dancey, but you know what? It's just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. You are welcome, Chris. Thank you. Gadget had 50, so I'm doing good. Well, Gadget is, he's in Oz, so a lot of his followers are probably from Oz, and it was the afternoon here, wasn't it? So, yeah. Check it out. You've never heard of them, Jessica. It's only one album. It was the only album they ever released. And then, of course, Susie had The Creatures with Budgie, the drummer. They released 3 albums. I have got one of them. Oh, no, they released 4 albums because there was Anima Animus, which I've got on a 10-inch double vinyl as well, limited edition. So I'm very into my music. Very into my music. I also do play guitar, but not very well. So I've got 4 guitars. My favorite guitar is a cheap black acoustic classical. It's really cheap, beautiful tone. But my baby guitar is my Zakk Wylde Bullseye. I have a Zakk Wylde Bullseye. It doesn't get played often. It weighs a ton. It's so heavy. But then, Zakk Wylde's a big man and he can lift that blooming thing. But yeah, it's an original one of the Epiphone copies. So yeah, but it's not something that I take out of the case very often. It's still in tune. All these years later, it's still in tune. Never had to tune it. Jessica, you love Susie. Brilliant. Right, guys, I'm going to go because my cat needs his injection. They're probably all queuing up by the door waiting for their tea. And I need to have something to eat. I specifically did not eat before my live today so that my stomach wouldn't play up. But I am going to try and go live again, probably Thursday, and see where we go. And have a wonderful evening, whatever you do. Let me know as well if you watch any good horror movies over the next few days. And if anybody's got ideas as to what... oh, they had a guest singer. Yes, they did. I can't remember her name, but she's on a couple of the tracks. She's on a couple of the tracks. I'm going to have to get that CD. I'm going to have to get that CD. But anyway, right, I need to go. I need to have my tea. Have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful week. I am doing a massive run tomorrow at Clumber Park. I have decided it's probably going to be about 10 Ks. But Spike says, bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a good evening. I'm going to bed now. No, he's not, is he? He's going to eat. He's going to go find some slugs. I need more hedgehogs in my garden. I have masses of slugs. Anyway, right, guys. Mwah. Blessed be to all of you. Have a wonderful week ahead.